Hey guys, Mark here and welcome to my review. Sit back, grab a drink and enjoy. But first, this kit was supplied by the awesome hobby shop in Sydney, Gunpla Builds. This shop has everything you need for your Gunpla Zoids, any model and customizing needs. With the current COVID lockdowns in Sydney only getting worse, consider definitely placing an online postal order. Ryan is open for business and waiting to help you. Here's the awesome looking inner frame. It's an earlier one, meaning it still kind of looks like a stickman. But with a paint job, I think it could be epic. Those green clear parts and foil stickers really set the 00 tone from the start when you're building this kit. Armoured up with no accessories, you get the feeling this is the culmination of the set. Especially with how solid this build was, I really enjoyed building it. Which is not something I've said about the previous two. Whilst I enjoyed the Exia, and the 00 was good, I did the 7 sword inspection. It had a lot of accessories and got tedious fast. This just felt like a smooth and flowing build from start to finish. Here's a shot of everything it comes with. Not as much as the 7 sword, but more than the Exia. First up is the QAN Sword 5 in sword mode. It's got a great vibe to it. It's really long and you think it would overbalance it when it's standing there, but no, it's really good. Now if you open up the handle, the blue grip parts and lower the handle and twist the blade around to the right, I think it is, you get the QAN Sword 5 in rifle mode. Now, this just kind of looks like most of the, weapons when they turn from a sword to a rifle. It looks like a sword with a twisted bit, but it does it well. I enjoy it. Not that I'd pose it that way, but it works. Here are the 6 QAN sword bits. You kind of have like a short, a medium, and a long sword bit, times 2. Now, they were a touch fragile, and I got some stress marks around the grey parts. Here's the QAN Sword 5 in Buster Sword mode. So that's when the 6 QAN sword bits combine onto the sword. And it was a bit touchy getting it there. The long ones and the medium ones in the middle are fine. It's the bottom 2 parts that were really hard. I found I had to use my knife blade to push them into position. This is Buster Rifle mode, and I'm not really feeling this one. But I guess it suits the kit when it's in the air, posing up. I don't know about the ground. Now the shield is great. I love the bulky feel. But unfortunately, even with a gloss coat, you can see the sticker decals on the blue parts. They don't always suit the kit that well. This needs a lot of trimming down. So, best to go with water slides if you can find them. As for the remaining accessories, you get this Setsuna Seiei pilot figure, and you get your sets of hands, of which there are the RG, the holding hands, and an open hand. Loaded and ready to launch. I don't typically like asymmetrical kits, but this one just does it for me. I can see the purpose on a shorter shoulder armour on the other side, and the slim design of the 00 suits just grabs me. The colour accuracy is great, the clear parts are brilliant, and the overall feel of the kit is one of completion from the set. Now, taking a closer look, on the decals again, I applied most of them, and then gloss coated over with Gaia Notes X Clear. But they're still not awesome with the amount of clear edging showing, so that's something to consider. Alright, onto the articulation. The head goes forward, back not as much, and comes off pretty easy. When you put it back on, it can actually rock back and forth, and it can turn a good amount of the way. Those ears are so much better than the Exia. They actually stay on when you touch them. I had to glue the Exias on. Alright, the shield mount is nice, pretty secure and swivels great. You get that 360 degree spin on the arm pegs, and the arm can pull forward to help clear that mount even more when you're trying to pose with it. And the elbow bends pretty good, and oh that's right, the torso front parts when you move the shoulders back actually opens up to reveal the QAN drive more. And the arm does go just above parallel. So, always good. Turns on the peg, and when you bend it all the way up on this one in particular, it's got that awesome mechanical kind of look. There is that silver sticker. It does go front to back. It is one very long silver sticker. I've pushed it down a few times, even with a gloss coat. Now, you can bend that elbow a little bit back past where I would have thought you should, but hey, doesn't hurt. And the wrist swivels on this are actually really interesting. There is a separate wrist swivel. That's not the hand moving, that's actually the wrist that you've built into the arm, like where you wouldn't be able to bend yours. The other arm, the kind of not symmetrical side, I guess, the more bulkier side, has got an opening closing white flap there on the edge of the shoulder armor, which is the standard real grade clip-on shoulders. These seem to stay on a lot better though. Arm goes up again, and it's got that blue bulk cover compared to the other side, which part of it that is, I think, the shield clipping in. Sorry, not the shield, the sword. The GN Sword 5 clipping in. The waist swivel is pretty good. Not sure how that'll hold up long run, but all good. Now the front skirt and back skirt basically are just on a peg and they can rotate. So there's not a whole lot of skirt there to get in your way when you're moving, which is one of the good things about the 00 kits. The side skirts though are basically held on by friction. If you move them too far, they're just going to come off, but they go back on, so all good. You can pretty much do the splits, which is great on those pegs into the waist joint. That's where the GN sword attaches to on the side skirt. If you pull the legs forward, you've got that back of the knee joint armor you can move. Sorry, and the other side over there moves up just as well. I love the sliding mechanical gimmicks of the legs and the armor moving. It's fantastic. The feet have great flexibility too. I love posing this thing. I even took it outside and managed it shooting, and imagined it shooting across the skyline like in the opening of the anime, leaving a GN trail behind it. You'll need that clear stand if you want to pose it up with that sword on the ground though. Once it's fully loaded with all the GN bits, it becomes uber heavy. Once it's in the air though, turns out alright. And I left it in that pose for a whole day and it did not move a millimeter. Off the stand, the arm didn't sag, so pretty tight joints. Here it is side by side with all three RG kits. The Exia is standard except for being a Trans Am version. The 007 sword is epic, but obviously no riser pack. And the RG00 Quant is a standard edition. I just like the feel of the 00 Quant. While I think I prefer the Exia and I do like the 007 sword, the Quanta is the full realization of the Exia and the 00 riser perfected. It really is the best of them and the most solid. Well, that's it guys. I think this is definitely one to pick up, especially if you have the other two, but maybe grab some Bandai decals or third parties to finish it off. I love having it displayed on my shelf like you saw in the opening, it completes the look. Big shout out to Ryplar Builds. Click the link below if you want one of your own, and remember, keep building.